Coming up on Denver here. It is 4:41 a.m. In 20 minutes it will have been 24 hours. Okay, now 40 minutes. 40 minutes. It'll have been 24 hours since our ride officially started, but we actually left the house at about 4:45, 5 o'clock. So, yeah. Things are a little fuzzy to me right now because of the fact that the majority of my attention is going to this situation right here, this traffic situation. Drive's right behind me, which is good, and we're just rocking and rolling on through Denver. I wanted to have this on just to get a good picture of riding through traffic and share a couple of my tips on safety in traffic situations that I gleaned from my career as a truck driver and am now applying to the motorcycle world. Obviously, situational awareness is paramount. If you don't know what's going on around you, things are going to catch you by surprise, and that's when stuff goes bad. Constantly check your mirrors. Always know what's going on around you. I'm following this red car because this person knows where they're going and they want to get there fast. But I'm also leaving myself, whenever possible, an avenue of escape. So right now I can duck either left or right. And I'm leaving myself plenty of follow distance. In a car, this wouldn't be all that much distance. In a truck, this wouldn't be nearly enough distance. But because I'm watching my mirrors, I can see somebody's coming up on my left behind me, so that limits my options as far as ducking off to my left if I had to, which I don't. But you always want to keep aware of what's going on. On a bike, your reaction time is a lot quicker than in a car, and obviously a lot quicker than in a truck. So okay, I'm gonna duck up. Let's go. Alright, Jiraiya's staying right on me. We filled up just now in Thornton, Colorado. Just back there a little bit. I like this because I've got a shoulder here. If somebody were to turn into me, I've always got an escape route. What the heck? Pretty sure that was a law enforcement officer that flipped on his deal there. I don't know who he was trying to communicate with. So this traffic is not that bad, actually. It's just kind of fast-paced. Everybody's doing 75 and a 55, and it is far more dangerous. This is a fact, statistically proven. Far more dangerous to drive slower than the speed of traffic than to drive slightly faster than the flow of traffic or with the flow of traffic. If you're driving slower, you're making people behind you jam on the brakes, and then people get frustrated and try to cut out around you. It's really not a good thing. Go with the flow. It is the safest option. I really like that I've got a bunch of room around me right now. Jiraiya's doing a great job of staying right with me. And it's actually pretty enjoyable. For a while back there, it was a little tighter, and there were less lanes. there were fewer lanes, and it was a little bit stressful, but there are the lights of Denver. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not going to turn my head for very long. Alright. I'm thankful to God for the safety we've had thus far. And one thing that is absolutely true is that if you do your part, if you do not do your part, you shouldn't expect God to pick up your slack. Okay, for some reason, the fast lane, the hammer lane, is being passed by everybody in the slower lanes. That's not, something's wrong here. Something is wrong, so I'm going to watch for an opportunity to duck over there, but because I have Jiraiya behind me, I've got to make sure that he's got time to get around too. There's no emergency. I got plenty of distance between me and the rig in front of me. Jiraiya's got space behind me. Nobody's right beside me, so I don't have to worry about anybody cutting over. They say loud pipes save lives. That's not entirely true, but they do help. They make people aware of your presence. Okay, now's the time to get over. I bet this looks a lot less intense on the video because the GoPro's such a wide angle, everything probably looks like it's spaced out a lot more. Are you kidding me? As soon as I get over here, the hammer lane takes off. Isn't that just the way it goes? Okay, checking the mirrors. Nobody is on my right. Just verify that. And get over. Jiraiya's sticking right with me. Okay. Make a little noise here so that the people beside me are aware. Cool. And it looks like we're through Denver for the most part. We don't even know how far we're going to go. I think we're just going to roll until potentially traffic backs up. Colorado Springs usually has bad traffic in the morning, so if traffic backs up really bad, we might just pull over. One thing that I've been planning to do for quite some time, I used to deliver utility trailers to Lowe's for a living. That was my thing. Wide open. Hey, this is awesome. This is great. We got tons of space here. I'm going to get over one lane to give myself a lane between this car and me. Safety is all in your hands for the vast majority of situations. Okay, brake lights. So immediately he's off. Just because somebody taps their brakes in front of you, by the way, doesn't mean you should lock yours up and slow down everybody behind you. There's a ripple effect that happens. Somebody can tap their brakes in a congested area and traffic 5 miles back can come to a standstill. It's insane. So that's why following distance is important. You don't need to overreact to the people in front of you. Just be prepared. If they get on their brakes, maybe get off the accelerator and just be prepared to slow down, but don't jam your own brakes on. That comes from not having enough following distance. Right now, if this person taps on their brakes, I can immediately get off the throttle, but I don't have to jam on my brakes in anticipation. I have a little bit of time to see what they're actually going to do before I have to get on the brakes. There are some situations where you won't have the opportunity to have as much following distance as you like, but always try to give yourself a cushion. If you give yourself too much, depending on the situation, another car will duck into it, but that's the curse of truck drivers. If there's a cushion of space in front of a truck driver, do not, for the love of God, force your way into it. Wow, I was really struggling back there about 20 minutes ago. I was going fuzzy and I was really trying to concentrate, and I could tell that I wasn't fully grasping what was going on around me like I needed to be. When we stopped for fuel dry, I bought me a 5-hour energy, which I've never tried before, and now I'm feeling sharp as a tack. So is Jiraiya. I am seriously impressed with him. He had about 500 miles or less of experience, probably closer to 400 miles of total riding experience when we took off on this trip. And as of right now, we are at 1,115 miles in the last 24 hours. Last 23 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, so blind spots. I was in that car's blind spot for a second, and I was watching it, and I was ready to slow down if they were to turn in. It's just basic stuff, and I'm stating the obvious for some of you, but sometimes the obvious is something that, you know, somebody will hear and say, oh, well, duh, that makes sense, and it could make a difference for somebody. I actually really enjoy this type of riding in limited quantities. When I drove truck, I would actually pull over sometimes and go to sleep early. If I knew I had to go through Chicago or something like that, I would pull over and go to sleep early, and then get up in the middle of the night and drive through Chicago and go back to sleep on the other side, just so that I wouldn't have to deal with the traffic. It's much safer. That's kind of what Jiraiya and I did. Rather than go to sleep when we finished our 1,000 miles, we have to be on the south side of Denver tomorrow, which is actually today now. So we're pushing through while there's limited traffic. This is bumper to bumper, stop and go for hours every weekday morning, and I've been stuck in it. I've spent hours of my life literally on this very stretch of road behind the steering wheel of an 18-wheeler, trying not to pull my hair out. Safety is in your hands the vast majority of the time. Basically all the time. There's always something that could have been done, basically, to avoid an accident. And if you take full responsibility for your own safety rather than blaming all those crazy drivers out there, practice defensive driving so that your safety is in